ever find yourself, totally missing something obvious, like right after you were focusing hard on something else?
Uh-huh.
That feeling.
Yeah,
Well, that might be what researchers call the attentional blink.
that's right.
So today we're doing a deep dive into this. It's basically this temporary lapse in attention when our brain's trying to process stuff really quickly. We've got some interesting material here looking at how it works, why it matters, and crucially, how you even measure something that quick.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff. Because our attention feels so continuous, right?
Yeah.
But it actually has these tiny, almost invisible gaps.
Gaps. Okay, so how do they pin that down?
Well, the standard method is something called Rapid Serial Visual Presentation, RSVP for short.
RSVP.
So imagine letters flashing on a screen really fast, one after another, and your job is to spot, say, two specific target letters.
Right, like pick out the J and the K from a stream of other letters.
Exactly, but here's the kicker. If that second target, the K, appears too soon after the first one, the J.
You miss it.
Often, yeah. You just don't register it consciously. It's like your brain is momentarily offline for new visual input right after grabbing the first target.
Okay, so it's literally like a blink of attention. That really shows there's a limit, doesn't it? A limit to how much we can process, like moment to moment.
Precisely. It strongly suggests a kind of bottleneck in our attentional processing system. Once we lock onto one thing, there's this brief period, the blink duration, where the system is, well, refractory. It's less able to process the next thing in line.
And do we know what's happening in the brain during that?
Well, researchers think it involves brain areas key for attention, like parts of the parietal and frontal lobes. They're working hard on the first target, essentially.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So how long are we talking? How long does this blink actually last? This is super quick.
It typically lasts somewhere between, say, 200 and 500 milliseconds.
So a fifth to half a second.
Right, which sounds tiny, maybe. But think about driving or playing sports or even just scrolling through information online. Half a second is actually quite a long time to miss something.
Yeah, definitely long enough to miss something important. Okay, but here's a question. Can we get better at this?
Yeah.
Can we, train our brains to have a shorter blink?
That's a really interesting aspect, and the answer seems to be yes to some extent. Studies using those RSVP tasks show that with practice, people can improve their ability to spot that second target. They seem to get faster at sort of disengaging from the first one and being ready for the next.
So our attention skills aren't totally fixed. We can sharpen them a bit.
It seems so, but other factors definitely play a role too. It's not just practice.
Okay. Like what? I'm guessing being tired doesn't help.
Absolutely not. Fatigue is a big one. Stress, too. These things seem to increase the duration, maybe the intensity of the attentional blink.
Right, because your mental resources are already kind of stretched thin when you're tired or stressed out.
Exactly. Your attentional system is already under load, so that recovery period after focusing on something might just take longer.
This makes me think about multitasking. We all try to do it, but maybe this blink explains why it's so hard or why we mess up.
It's directly relevant, yeah. Because multitasking often involves rapidly switching your attention between different streams of information, right?
Yeah, checking email while on a call or texting while watching TV.
And the attentional blink suggests that during those switches, there's a period where you're less likely to fully process information from the stream you just switched to, or maybe even the one you switched from. You're basically blinking between tasks.
And missing important bits in the process.
Potentially, yes. And this has real-world implications, some quite serious.
Like you mentioned driving earlier. If you glance at your phone, then back to the road. That blink could happen right when you look back.
Exactly. You might miss a pedestrian stepping out, or the car ahead braking suddenly. It's also relevant in professional settings like surveillance or security monitoring.
Watching multiple screens, trying to catch fast events.
Right. An analyst might miss a critical event on one feed because their attention blinked after noticing something on another.
And what about learning? Does it affect that too? Like trying to absorb information in a lecture or reading something dense?
It can, yeah. If new information is presented while your attention is effectively blinked after processing the previous point, your ability to encode that new information into memory can be weaker.
So you might miss a key connection or just not remember the next fact as well.
Potentially. It highlights how crucial, sustained, or maybe well-timed attention is for effective learning and memory formation.
Okay, so let's quickly recap. The attentional blink is this short temporary dip in our awareness.
Right.
When we're trying to process things happening really fast one after another, we study it using these rapid visual tasks, the RSVP things. It shows us our attention has real limits, bottlenecks.
Yep. Involves specific brain areas, likely those attention networks.
And it lasts, what, about a fifth to half a second? But we can potentially shorten it with practice.
But it gets worse with things like fatigue or stress.
And it really undermines true multitasking and can have some serious consequences in driving, security, even just learning stuff.
That covers the core ideas, I think. It's a fundamental limit on how we process the world second by second.
It really makes you think. So here's something for you, the listener, to consider. Knowing about this temporary blind spot in your own attention, how might that change the way you approach situations where you need to take in a lot of information quickly? Or how you manage distractions when you really need to focus? Something to mull over.